What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here with
Gersh1.
and today we're back at it to bring you guys more Q&A type of videos in the form that you guys know, that we know. It's called For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get those questions first. That is what Natalie Juarez did. Are there any of the, let's say, humanoid-like species in 40K that are genetically compatible with each other? I remember in Star Trek we see characters that are mixed between quite different, although humanoid species. So I wonder, even though it most likely would never happen, is it genetically possible? LOL. You seriously addressed it today.
Oh,
Yeah.
when we talked about the what is it? I forgot his name. The Ultramarine that was half Ultramarine, half well, technically he was half human first, half Eldar. Then he became a space marine.
Okay, yeah. So just to clarify, and just to make sure that we got that point across, there is no interbreeding between species anymore.
Right.
There used to be. GW was copying 100% the Tolkien works and everything, and they wanted elves and men to mix. So you had Eldar and humans mixing to create a really powerful psyker that ended up becoming a librarian, I think. But yeah, now no.
Yeah, they're going more with, like, I guess it's like the grim darkness of it. Like, humanity is xenophobic, and that's how it is.
And it's realistic at the same time, because if you think about it, these people grew up in completely different environments. If you look at the background to the origins of the Eldar, you know that they come from, they say avian creatures, but it's really like slugs. If you look at the orcs are basically a type of fungus, or what is it called? A lichen? And then humanity obviously evolved through like just regular ape shit.
I mean, you mean Jesus?
Oh,
duh.
right, yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, Adam and Eve, the rib.
Adam and Eve, yeah. And then, where's I going with this?
Oh, like the incompatibility between the different types of species.
Yeah, because they're not even species. They're different types of, what would it be called? Like
families?
Family?
Yeah, because what is it? Like family, genome, species?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, tertiary.
What you do have with interbreeding is you do have certain factions, like the abhumans that might be able to interbreed. So like a human might be able to have a hybrid Ogren, a hybrid Ratling, but that is controlled by a department within the Adaptus, Ministorum. I forget what it's called, but like they are the ones who sanction whether an abhuman is okay, and interbreeding between those abhumans would probably be destroyed.
Yeah.
Because, but at the same time, they keep that strain pure. Like, Ogrens are Ogrens, so they breed with each other to create more Ogrens.
Yeah. Kind of how, like, the Tau and the Ethereals, like, you're an Earth caste, you could only stay with the Earth caste, no air caste, wind, Earth, air, fire, water.
Yeah.
Avatar. But that's not to say things don't, like, ooze through the cracks. Especially I could see that happening with like rogue traders, since they basically can go wherever they want and do essentially whatever they want. So I'm pretty sure if like a rogue trader sees a fine looking Vespid, he's into chitin clicks and vibrations, then hey, why not?
Yeah. We never have seen, actually we have, never mind. I was going to say we've never seen them without the masks.
No, yeah.
But we have.
Yeah.
Next question.
This one's by Angel Reyes, kind of on the similar topic. Do you ever think that Argel Tall clapped cheeks? If so, has any Space Marine on record have actually loved or got Slanesh-like? I really appreciate you guys on all you do, and Happy New Year's.
Oh, thank you. Happy New Year's to you too, man.
Thank you.
And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you're involved with like Slanesh and stuff like that, anything can happen.
Yeah, and then I don't think that GW ever covers this just because it's like that's not their thing. But the Angron came really close to to having some type of emotional connection with his ship captain.
Yeah,
I forget her name, but that was a thing. So even the Primarchs, there's room for love. Completely different type of love, not the type of love that you probably are thinking. the Primarchs would not simp
No.
like you would.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I could just imagine like Twitch streamers and stuff in the 40K universe.
The thick Earthcast top. The most popular streamers.
Brian B says, do you guys think they will ever do a series based on the Great Scouring?
Hope so.
Yeah, man. I feel like that's going to be too far out because they have to actually start with some type of series, set the basis for the 40K setting, and then talk about like the grander things.
It would be really nice to see Forge World explore that concept now that they're kind of wrapping up the Horus Heresy. They should be wrapping up the Horus Heresy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just natural too, right?
Yeah, they have to in some shape, way, or form. But that's kind of like saying, like the whole thing with like DC. People were like, oh, we want to see Justice League. Well, it's like, whoa. We've only just gotten like Batman, Wonder Woman, and Superman introduced. Like, what about the rest of them? No, put them all in a movie. We all saw how that ended up.
Yeah.
So, let's not have that happen to 40K. Give them time. Let them ease into everything. And then eventually we'll get all these awesome storylines covered.
Yeah, foreplay is important.
Yeah, don't just rush, guys.
This next question comes from Silver Breeze. Have you ever read a question or a theory here on the Greater WAAAGH that changed your opinion about the lore? Any examples? Yes, a lot. You guys actually influence, like, not just like through the Greater WAAAGHs, but like the comment section in general influence our understanding of the lore. I can't think of any off the top of my head right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys are really, really influential on us too. The hate comments hurt, guys.
Yeah.
I don't want to cry anymore. But yeah.
Yeah, there are interesting, like, because when you're like looking at things and like you're trying to make a video of it, sometimes you're just so like razor focused to make it about a certain topic that you kind of don't really see the overlying effects of it. And you guys were like, well, yeah, the ethereals do look like they're using mind control and stuff like that, but look how they saved the Tau race. Like, they were about to kill each other back when they were like Stone Age times. Yeah. And now look at how they've advanced in such a short amount of time. So it's like, yeah, there's always two sides to, the same coin, I guess you can say.
That's true. Next question.
Thalolo says, are there any Adaptus Mechanicus with psychic powers?
No.
Yeah, not that I'm aware of.
I mean, I guess the Electro Priests,
yeah. But there's not like, it's not like Belisarius Call can like use mind bullets and stuff like that. Maybe he can, but he just chooses to just focus all his intellect into like the machinery aspect of things and like technology.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've noticed that like when it comes to like GW talking about certain races and stuff, they tend to just stick with the most well-known stuff and kind of ignore any outliers.
That's true.
Because I mean, there's got to be some Tau that's like a super awesome fighter in close combat, but they just don't want to talk about it.
Yeah. Next question comes from Aroc9. Fan content February, OMS reading and showing off some fan content. Yeah, that would be awesome, but you guys, we seldom get sent stuff, and when we do, that takes more work to actually put it together, and put it into a coherent, like, good, clean way.
We used to do fan lore videos, 2-3 years ago. There is a playlist on chapters and fan lore that you guys have sent us. Yeah. So you guys can check that out. But those videos didn't really do very well because it's like, well, I don't want to learn about this guy's make-believe chapter. I want to see like the actual lore. And it's like, well, yeah, I could see that. But at the same time, the lore, the thought, the effort put into this could actually fuel your imagination for your own fan lore or something else like that. So definitely give it a watch. They're very dated, like I said, but it's there.
Yep. And if you do have your own like homebrew lore, send it to us. If you're even if you're just thinking of it, or some type of like fan lore. Another really helpful source is the wiki, like homebrew section of the wiki page for Warhammer. They give you like a template kind of like what to follow, and that helps out a lot.
Yeah.
Next question.
This one is by UH Credhead. When did Earth get renamed Terra? Was it during the Unification Wars? Before? When?
It doesn't say, as far as I know.
Doesn't Terra just mean Earth?
Yeah.
So, I guess it was just like a unified, like, yeah, let's not call it Earth anymore.
I think also probably during the golden age of technology when humanity started venturing out.
They got so woke. They're like, we're not Earth anymore.
Yeah.
Kind of like Facebook. We're meta now.
Yeah. Next question comes from ScribbleNut45. Jelking January?
Way ahead of you.
That would be really good because it's like, it's also, what is it called? Like when you're bettering yourself?
Oh, self-improvement or whatever.
Yeah, because like, you know, everybody's hitting the gym because it's January. You're trying to like, you know, get a longer thing with more blood flow.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, that probably will hurt you. So maybe just drink some beet juice because that helps blood flow. So.
Yeah, why not? Beat it with some beets.
Next question.
The big one says, do you think in 2022 I could possibly clap 2022 pairs of cheeks if I really tried? I mean, it's my New Year's resolution, fam.
Yeah, it's not hard at all. I think like people put limits as far as like clapping cheeks, but when you actually like break it down, everybody wants some type of physical connection. It's your mind that's preventing it.
That's true. Don't put mental barriers in your head.
Yeah. When it comes to that. Now, when it comes to working on your pile of shame, those are not mental barriers. You physically can't do it.
Yeah.
It's nobody's fault.
Yeah,
Well, it's not your fault. It's everybody else's fault.
Right. Like you get the paint ready, you get your, you know, your whole setup done, you sit down and then you start to gag.
Yeah, don't blame yourself. Blame the universe because it's doing that to you.
It's like, why am I gagging?
Next question comes from Magos Dominus. Would you rather wear white pants or cowboy boots to a Warhammer store?
Why not both?
White pants and cowboy boots? Oh,
show them who's boss. But they gotta have the little spurs on the back.
The thing about going to like a Warhammer store is that I feel like it's all like you're gonna get stared at regardless because you're like.
I feel, in general, whenever you're at a store and the door opens, I feel like all heads turn, all eyes on you. So it's like might as well be wearing white pants and boots because they're gonna look.
Yep.
Give them something to see.
That's true. Just make sure that they're tight, white pants.
Mm-hmm. Skin tight.
Next question.
This one's by Slack Jr. Are you interested in video games where you play as other Xenos in a first-person narrative? Because everybody talks about wanting a game where they play as Space Marines, but I want a game where you play as an operative in a Gene Stealer cult. Maybe you don't realize that you're working for the Gene Stealers until the end when the swarm descends on the planet. It would be pretty cool to walk around a hive city and see Grimdark up close.
Because Warhammer is becoming so popular, I get excited that might be a possibility. Mm-hmm. That in the future we're gonna get like way more exploration in different platforms for these like races and stuff, kind of like what they had with the Fire Warrior video game.
Video game.
Yeah, the only thing that kind of scares me is if you look at all the advertising for Warhammer outside of like just the community. Or what's standard in the community, like when Henry Cavill talks about freaking 40K, he's talking about the Adaptus Custodes. So it all kind of falls into that same human-centric
the Imperium.
Thing. Yeah. And I don't like that. Like I wish it would have been cool if he was like, my favorite race was orcs, or my favorite race was Tau. But nah, he went for the most bland-ass Adaptus Custodes.
The best of the best.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool to play as a Gene Stealer cultist.
Yeah. My hate for him is showing too much. Next question.
Which tabletop stratagem has the coolest name? This is what Justice777 says. Stratagem.
Yeah, I really like all of the orc ones because they're goofy. There used to be one called the Foot of Mork, I think it's called. Or was that a psychic power? Either way, like the description was funny because it's just a foot of Mork coming down and crushing the enemy.
I wish I was the enemy. Mine would be the gaze of Mork.
A bunch of gazes.
Mm-hmm. Can you do just one gaze or many gaze?
I don't know. Is it like hair? Like it's your hair, but you have a lot of hairs? It's made up. I don't know. What about you? Stratagem?
The only one I could really like pop into my head is like transhuman physiology.
Oh yeah, that sounds badass.
Because it's like this stratagem makes me not take wounds half the time, but it's like you should have transhuman physiology all the time.
Yeah.
Like that's your physiology. That's you. It's not like, oh, I get harder or stronger. It's like, no, this is how I am all the time.
Yeah.
But it only works for one phase.
No, but there's a stratagem that lets you... No, because that's the 4+ thing, right?
Yeah.
How come people could do it all the time then? Or did that get changed?
Well, no, you can do it once per turn.
Oh, per turn, okay.
Yeah, so you can do it your turn, their turn. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, they should have it all the time because it's like their physiology. Call it something else.
It's that is really annoying to me, though.
It is.
I
yeah.
really don't like that stratagem. Sounds cool, but I don't
Yeah.
like it.
I just remember it so much because like our buddy, every time he plays Marines, he uses it.
Well, that's why I dislike it. It's like, if I'm going to... It doesn't matter how strong my weapon is. I'm only on a 4+.
Right.
So I might as well just go in there with grots.
Exactly.
Timothy Armstrong asks, third time asking, what are your thoughts on the GW losing sales and having their stock market price drop by 25%? I feel like that's just a snapshot of a grander picture of just like decline in sales because of what we just went through with COVID and I mean how long was the Indomitus box delayed?
Yeah.
So those kinds of things kind of affect it. Yeah.
This next one is by Maximus Prime. Which Space Marine chapter is currently the strongest, besides Ultramarine, since they do have their Primarch?
Well, I mean, you answered your own question.
Yeah. Blood Angels are pretty strong right now, even though they've got the Red Thirst and the Black Rage. They do have Dante, which is pretty much the next guy underneath Gilliman. Yeah. He's in charge of the Imperium, like the southern sector of the Imperium. I forgot what they're called.
Secundus?
That's what I want to say, but I think that was... Yeah, I think that's what it is.
Because it was that back then, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when you think of all the other chapters, I don't see them as being, like, that big or, like, that powerful. I could be wrong, though.
Yeah. I would go with that, too. This isn't a question. This is just by... just a comment. Jonathan Landono says, I'm a very narrative player. Me and my buddies do pretty big battles with a lot of our men strategizing and talking while fighting and moving. I kind of envy that. I don't think our friend group could do that. Number one, because we never played, period.
Yeah.
Because like big games we don't really play. And I don't think we would be able to get into character. Well, not maybe most of us, just one person specifically.
Yeah, because if we could get into character for D&D, I think we could do it for Warhammer.
Yeah. But yeah, that actually sounds really badass.
Mm-hmm.
Different narrative ways of playing have always intrigued me.
Yeah.
Next question.
This one's by Doom Shaper. So Pure Tide had 3 students, Farside, Shadowsun, and Okais. Do you think we'll ever see or hear anything more about Okais, both on the tabletop or in the story? So in the original Dawn of War, if you play the Tau Empire, that commander was Okais. Is it the same one as the one that was taught by Pure Tide? We don't really have confirmation of it. But if you want to take that as legit lore, then there he is. Will we see more or any of him? I think so. I was half expecting it to be in 9th edition with like all the new stuff they've got, but it doesn't seem to be that. Maybe in 10th edition, because I feel like big things are going to happen in the 10th edition of 40K. So I'm excited for that more so now than I am excited to play Tau in 9th.
Yeah. I just realized that like we've been playing for so long. We're about to hit 5 editions. But also at the same time, it's like I feel like we're going slow. Mm-hmm. Like we still only have 1 loyalist Primarch. So by the time that character comes out, more Primarchs come out. How old do you think we're gonna be?
Yeah.
Like we will die before, and 40K will continue. Mm-hmm. It's sad. And with that sad note, we'll leave you guys. We might not come back tomorrow. You don't know that.
The creeping effects of time. They don't give you any chance of hope.
Yeah. I know there's going to be somebody in the comments saying, like, we hope you don't come back. But yeah. This is Gershwan.
The Sound Alchemist. And we'll see ya. Maybe not, in the next one.
Always used to put my freedom first in any